Focus on this Bengal team entering play. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost start to this game.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Randy Bullock to kick off for Cincinnati.
Which of these 0-3 teams will visit the win column for the first time? We'll see. We're underway here in Week 4. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Out come the Jaguars, and it's Gardner Minshew, their second-year quarterback, leading the way.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
Pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. The decision that time was to keep it, and not a great one. Once he got out right with the football, there was just nowhere to go.
And I felt bad for his offensive line there because their job is to create creases, right? Create openings. But if those defenders keep their shoulders square to the line of scrimmage and refuse to be budged, that's the end result. No place for him to turn upfield. No chance to gain any yardage.
Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. From the gun, Minshew to throw. And he completes it to Westbrook. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A first carry now for Thompson. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Pickup on the play.
Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit.
And Minshew with nowhere to go, and they take him to the ground. Geno Atkins got home that time.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Hand off to Thompson. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
2 things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the first down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. That's pulled in at the 32. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. go, and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 43. First carry for the former Oklahoma Sooner, Joe Mixon. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
And 6.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 25 yards that time.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
Joe Mixon, the ball carrier.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
On the tackle. That's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 3.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Yeah, they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it with Burrow. Steps away to his left. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
15-yard line.
Here's a give to Mixon. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
This throw caught at about the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be...
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Travion Williams, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good.
That's feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team. Because we talk about complimentary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. Now this will make it into the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Minshew going to lead up the Jaguars 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
From the 30 on second down, Minshew.
Minshew's pass, intended for number 34, incomplete. It's third down and 5 yards to go.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Out of the gun is Minshew. And Eifert has it. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield.
To Tyler Eifert. It's a gain of 20. First down, Jacksonville. That's the end of the first quarter.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Jaguars, nothing.
They'll run on first down. Thompson. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
On 2nd and 12, Minshew. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 37. First catch for the man who led the Jags in catches a year ago, and it's a Jacksonville first down. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Shotgun handoff to Thompson. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
From the 31, Minshew to the left side here for Eifert. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 17-yard line. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
Jaguar.
And for Tyler Eifert, you know, it's a bittersweet game here. He, of course, spent the first 7 seasons of his NFL career in a Bengals uniform before joining the Jags in the offseason. His best year with the Bengals, 2015. He had 52 catches that year, 13 touchdowns, and his lone Pro Bowl bid to date. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Now Minshew. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah, what's going on? It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
So here's 2nd and goal. They give it here to Thompson, and they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, spread him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while, but when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
The kick by Lambeau is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a dozen plays on that drive, CD, but in the end, it yields just the 3 points.
Well, they were able to keep the defense on the field for a long time, but let's be honest about it. That was about as unsatisfying a drive as you're going to get. 12 plays, and you only get 3 points out of it. Not quite the ending they were looking for.
Over first and 10. At their own 20.
Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On 2nd down, Burrow. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Burrow throw. A quick hitter complete. It's Boyd. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6. At the 40.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Off to Thomas on the left side. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
To Jordan Thomas. That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 1.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield.
That's good.
Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2.
1st and 10 at the 49.
Burrow now off the bootleg. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Tyler Boyd, his first touchdown on the year. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point up and good by Bullock. And that pushes the lead up to 11.
For Cincinnati.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And this carries into the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Gardner Minshew and the Jags ready to go on offense once again. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well. But the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. They'll fire one deep for Westbrook. Trying to get it there to D.D. Westbrook. And now it's 2nd down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Throwing on first down is Minshew.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now.
At the Bengals' 29-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Again, Minshew looking to throw. Short pass, Eifert on the receiving end. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. The open man is Westbrook. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down.
First down.
Well, when the Jaguars wanted to throw the football, they often looked at D.D. Westbrook, who just completed that play there. 101 targets, 66 catches for both 2018 and 2019.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. It'll be Minshew again. His pass caught at the 4. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Chris Conley, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are back within a score.
Josh Lambo.
A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people...
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. As the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that's caught inside the 30. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Pass intended for Tyler Boyd. Incomplete. It's
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Burrow looking to pass. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Burrow's pass intended for Tyler Boyd. Incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 10.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Again, it's Burrow. Jacksonville's pass defense holds serve. 4th down. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And Bullock will put this one through, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime with a touch. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. On the return, Phillips. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. So here are the Bengals set to take over. They are trying to snap that 3-game losing streak. On top so far with the football here, 1st and 10. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
To Joe Mixon.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the gun again to Mixon. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Mixon, the ball carrier.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48.
That's good for a Cincinnati.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Escaping the pressure right. And his throw here is incomplete. He was looking for Joe Mixon there out of the backfield. And it's 3rd down.
He certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Thomas. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 35. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 30.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
47 is the mic. 47 is the mic. Hey, what's the ball?
Burrow going to fake to Mixon and now look to throw. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
And this one is right down the middle. And they double them up here. That makes our score 20 to 10.
20. Jaguars 10.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
25-yard line.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Geno Atkins picks up his second sack of the afternoon. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case, because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5.
Over first and 10.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up, because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So 2nd and 10, third quarter. Thanks for tagging along with us here from the Queen City of Cincinnati. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Burrow's pass.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
A 6-yard.
A gain of 6 there on first. Room here to run.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. They've kept him in check until that run. That's the first time he's really gotten loose in this game.
And they have to keep that in mind. Don't dwell on the fact that he finally had a big run. You kind of are counting on that as the game went on. Get back to what you were doing before. Start limiting him again.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
Nice job there by Tyler Boyd, finishing off the connection on the throw. Over 1,000 yards receiving each of the last 2 seasons, with 90 catches in 2019. Was thought to be a complimentary receiver, but with A.J. Green out much of the time, he became a reliable and consistent target.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, here's Burrow, first down. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Jordan Thomas, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
Their own 25-yard line.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
Jesse Bates. Gardner Minshew sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Another try after the first down sack. Minshew to the left side here for Eifert. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Thompson. Logan Wilson that time there to bring him down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
From the 39, Minshew. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. Back now in Cincinnati. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th. Now Minshew on 1st and 10. Caught Eifert over the middle. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And he completes it to Westbrook. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
D.D. Westbrook. A 5-yard gain on the play.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. From the gun, Minshew to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements. Good catch there by Tyler Eifert, and Jacksonville, who needed help at the tight end position, signed him to do exactly that. Spent his first 7 years in Cincinnati, a terrific red zone threat.
Out of the gun is Minshew. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. D.D. Westbrook, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit. Lambo to add on the extra point. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work. And as we peer at the numbers, he got off to a struggling start, but since then really found his rhythm.
And I think that comes together with not just the halftime adjustments, but just that quiet confidence. If you just keep doing the things you've been working on, eventually there will be creases. You know, find those gaps in the defense, keep working on them, and maybe what didn't happen very well for you in the beginning of the game, it starts to open up as the game moves on. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back, because your friend, Old Momentum,
He's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hand.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the former first-round pick, DJ Hayden. Now, after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Now Minshew. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done. Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
And Lambeau will put this one through, and this is back down to a 7-point game.
27.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Joe Burrow trots out again with the rest of his offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Kick catch interference. Kicking team.
Well, that was pretty obvious. He didn't let him catch it.
Agreed, and what's hard is you make that long run downfield to try and cover it, but you got to locate the football as well.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Carl Lawson in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
After the sack on 1st down, Minshew under pressure again, and down he goes again. Logan Wilson in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the 1st sack of his young NFL career. Tough road for Minshew and the Jags. Here's Minshew. And Conley's got it over the middle. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because
The receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here 1st and 10 at their own 27. He'll hand it off here. This is Mixon. He'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Brought down at the
Defensively, no doubt they need a quick stop. Offensively here, maybe do you put it in the air on 2nd down, or do you go ahead and keep it on the ground, keep that clock moving?
A lot of people would ask that question, partner, because sometimes throwing the ball might actually be the path of least resistance. But in this case, it's a matter of trust. How much do you trust your quarterback? Because you throw the ball and it goes awry, you really don't look smart as a coach.
Yeah, and then you stop that clock. He gets this in the hands of Mixon, and he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, Mixon. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the 1st. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away.
Kick catch interference. Kicking team.
Can't do that.
Football 101, you've got to let the guy catch the ball.
You have to know the ball is there. You have to know it's arrived. Otherwise, you're going to get flagged every time.
He's back to throw. On the slant, this is Chark. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those time.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Geno Atkins in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Sean Williams. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. A little bit of a backbreaker right there. You're down close, 1-score game, trying to push the ball down the field and score, and you throw a pick 6.
And sometimes you take a little bit of a gamble when you're making your throws, right? Sometimes you press it a little bit more than maybe you wanted to because you want that score so badly. In this case, it cost him.
And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll be taken down by the face mask, it appeared. And, yes, out come the flags. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 25 yards there on the catch and run. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
The 23-yard line.
Looking to throw it. Minshew. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. William Jackson with a pick. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for the Bengals TD.
Touchdown, Bengals.
And let's you race any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Now Bullock to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Minshew sets to throw. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Minshew, 1st and 10. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Bengals, it took a few weeks, but they finally get their first win of the season here in Week 4. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.